WGP Singapore Season 4 took place the other day, now in the Divine Set 5 meta, featuring the brand new forms of Rezael and Varga and Levi Dress that are now fully supported, and some might say make it harder for older decks to compete in, but one brave soul is here to show that that's not the case, as he brought Chronojet in this meta where people thought that only Nitros could stand the chance as a stride deck. Let's get into it and take a look at WGP Singapore. This was from round 1, so since we're doing a VOD review, we can kind of like speed it up a little bit and take a look. So round 1 was Olden versus Jet, which is kind of like an expected deck lineup, I guess, from the past season. Not so much this one. I think Jet is definitely pretty viable, but I wouldn't have expected Olden as one. All right, so we have Hochweiss, I guess, on the left, and Handler 1 on the right. Handler's playing Jet, Hoch is playing Olden. Jet's starting off pretty strong with double clockwises, which is like usually pretty good, just because it essentially means that your resource generation with striding is going to be very, very high. All right, so it looks like they forgot to draw from going second. This was round 1, so they forgot to draw from going second, and then they have to like change which card was the soul, I guess. So, ooh, hits the crit turn 1, that's pretty good. Front heal will actually equalize the damage, and that should mean that the clockwise shouldn't be hitting anymore. So, or it barely hits, right? Because it's 28 versus, oh yeah, it's barely 5k. That's pretty close though. Pretty close for comfort. So the Jet list looks pretty teched out. Just seeing the, clockwises, the Falcracias, you see, or sorry, not Falcracia, Forkalore is the grade 1 in the back there. Someone I know was on the other side of the 4 Res Elvita and damage image. I think I didn't catch that one, but I saw it in passing. Okay, so we see Olden Radline here pick up a, not Kedwalla. His name is, God, I need to really, Carbre. Picking up the Carbre here. Pretty interesting to be running that on Olden, because Olden already, like, is always barely enough on soul. And I do feel like you're maybe risking it a tiny bit with running that, just because you kind of have to, you sort of give yourself that situation of, barely being out of resources. So we're gonna see the Olden player. This is also round 1, so I kind of assume that this was a round where, a lot of people's nerves, the tournament nerves, are being run out as well. So we see Sargon come down here as well. Not gonna have enough rear guards just yet on the board in order to proc it, but can definitely commit something to the board in order to make it happen. Yeah, Carbre and Bolden. It's definitely not very common, but I can kind of, ooh, double. Not using it though, just calling it to have the rear guard. I do agree with this attack pattern, because I think this question sometimes comes up, is like, why attack with, like, if you are in this kind of board state, why would you attack with this first? And it's usually like, you essentially attack with this first, even if ultimately the opponent will want to take it, and even if they hit a defensive, you can still go Vanguard because it's a 1 to pass, so you might be forcing them to commit a card regardless. And this is hitting over the defensive anyway, so this is the correct attack pattern. You could say like, oh, just attack Vanguard, maybe you hit a front or something, but in that case, then if you attack with this and your opponent no guards it, then you're kind of in that situation where if now they hit a defensive, this only has 1 attack target, whereas this way you potentially get 3 attacks in, or you get up to 2 cards out of their hand. So we see a no guard here, and they hit a crit, so that's gonna actually get them to get Handler to 3 damage, which is again, and they hit a second defensive, so the Vanguard will no longer be hitting. Oh no, they put the other power on the clockwise. They actually really value that on the board. Interesting. Or I think so, right? The other 10k. Oh no, that was the front, right? So that was the front from the defensive then. So pretty interesting stuff. Yeah, both were front. All right, so we see a discard, and then gonna use the clockwise to just get rid of it from the game. and add the card discarded for the right deck back as well. Yeah, the attack didn't hit, but it just swung to proc the dog. Yeah, very strong though. Always good to see. So we see here, Grade 2 gonna just swing and pass. That actually did hit. This is only 16, so gonna draw. Ooh, Biscotti as well to convert the 3 energy for a draw here. So if you're Alden, you're looking pretty good in the situation because, oh, but look at Handler's hand. Quite literally, Handler. The hand is massive. That's actually pretty impressive. I will make myself a little smaller here because it's like, let's see, we're gonna ride up to the Olden, gonna get a top call here. I think optimally you want the grade 1 to soul charge just to keep generating resources. Gonna find the for some reason Olden names are escaping me today. What's their name again? This is not good. Olden names are escaping me today. It's the Nomisaki one. The one drawn by Nomisaki. What is her name? Why am I forgetting her name? It's not good. It's not like me to forget names, and I don't want to have to open a VG Paradox tab just to look up her name. Razionel, thank you. She had an angel sounding name. Alright, we see Cadbury there, swing. Ooh, running the twin cast in Jet. That's pretty interesting. So you can actually drop that for the 10k. Alden's gonna swing. Razionel, overcalling Razionel it seems. So gonna use that effect to Olden's effect. Puts back the Razionel to hand. You also get a 10. Ooh, 2 to pass. We see the crit hit on the first check for Hochweiss. I think here you commit. Yeah, he's gonna check his triggers, but we do see there's like what, 2 in hand, so it's actually not that many, and you only have 1 attack left that you basically know is already huge, so your opponent is most likely taking this attack anyway. So actually it's quite logical to just go all in on Vanguard here, which I hope to see, because the other swing is probably hitting. There is an argument that if you give it to the crit to the rear, you're still going to push them to 5 and then you might just win next turn, but why, you know, you could just bank on the 2 to pass break here, especially if you've not seen many triggers yet. Oh, they're really debating it. Look at that. The crit has to go Vanguard. If you're giving the power to Vanguard, you have to give the power to Vanguard. The crit goes to Vanguard. If you're putting the power to Vanguard, you have to. This is okay. Second check, nothing. I don't know. I do feel like the only reason why you would have gone there is because you were trying to threaten lethal from that. So just giving the power would have meant you hit the, like, let's say that you only get another, like, let's say you get a heal or something, right? And it did break through, you would have gotten 1 damage in, and if they hit a defensive, then this would, like, even the crit you put here doesn't matter because now it's much easier to guard. So I don't agree with the split. Is that max rare Jet? It looks pretty maxed out. The triggers are all foil, all the cards are pretty high rarity as well. Especially because Handler's hand is so huge, guarding this will be no problem no matter how big it is. But like, kind of taking advantage of the 2 to pass would have been pretty big. All right. Oh, took the 2, go Handler goes to 5. That's actually fairly surprising. Okay, with that big of a hand. And then we see, of course, this is the traditional, the well-known yellow coin marker warning system. You amass enough of these yellow coins and you're out. You get a penalty, but looks like they're fine for now. Teaching the GG, rides the Jet. So of course this is a Jet game before good old Chronos Command comes out. Pretty soon though, just a month away now. So now we're gonna see the search for the Nocturgio. Of course has an effect when discarded. Ooh, we saw a sliver of Ophelia in the deck there. So that's another new Dark States edition for Jet. Definitely quite good. Good to see as well. So Nocturgio probably going to be just ditched for the ride cost, for the stride cost rather. Go into the Fate Rider, and then you can also get the Nocturgio back. Oh no, but no, he already. I don't think he has any more clockwise left in drops. So it's only the one on the board. Wonder if Ophelia is better than Forkalore. I think she's probably easier to use and provides soul as well. So for that reason, probably quite good. But looks like Handler is running both of them. So, all right. Gonna stride, draw off of the Nocturgio. I don't think they have a clockwise and drop right now. They do not. They run the Goat promo as well. So that might come down pretty soon. They do have the soul required for the GG here as well. So I want to see it come down. Okay, we're gonna draw from the GG. Has an upstream now as well. Ooh, calls the heal trigger. So I do believe the Goat. I'll pop it up if this makes it into video. But all right, looks like they're getting a quick confirmation on something. Remind me what how the Goat is worded. I know it uses energy for bot decking either one of your bind or one of your rear guards, if I'm not mistaken. So I guess the goal here is to bot deck one of your, like the heal trigger there, and then shuffle it back up. So let's see it. It's at the end of the battle, if I'm not mistaken. So we're gonna intercept for that one. Goat's effect. Gonna use 3 energy. Bot deck itself. Draw a card, and then it bot decks a bind card or a rear guard. Ooh, Fate Rider gonna just swing here. Did they not mean to swing with that rear column first? Maybe not. Well, I guess it's fine. Upstream's gonna come out, and then I guess probably they didn't actually. So but this way, Upstream can call out the GG that was there already, and then she'll get the power. So you know, I think. But theoretically, they could have attacked with that column and then called the upstream, but then upstream wouldn't have called to any other attacks. So I guess in the end, in terms of scaling, it is better this way because you do get the face up G-Zone from the Fate Rider. So that way you have actual scaling happening here. It is kind of nice to see Jet after all this time. Like, I think it's a Stride deck set that I personally believe is like, maybe in the set 5 meta is a bit tough for it, but in the set 4 meta, I do think it was a very competent deck that people just kind of forgot about. We see a Tiskar upstream and a Sanctitude. And the PG damage for Hawkvice here. It's gonna be just a 25. There we go. Coming out. Upstream goes back to deck, and now you'll be able to call out the GG. And of course, ooh, not even the GG, it's gonna be the Philia. So Philia, of course, is a card that's not been announced in English yet, but she's a very important card for Liel Odium, and also for, of course, any other Dark States deck that can play her. And her effect is that if you played an order this turn, or if your opponent has 1 or less rears, you can, she gets 5k, and then at the end of the battle, she boosted, she goes to Soul to draw a card. You may put her to Soul to draw a card. So it's the exact same text as Shendy, but it's very good. So she's used an Odium, and now we can see she's finding use in Jet. And in general, actually, they reprinted the book, the Skyride that she is from, and I picked up a lot of that book because I was like, I don't play that many Dark States decks, but especially now like Lugia getting support, and then like I play Odium a lot, I definitely feel like I'll need the additional copies. How much will it be? I mean, if you play Japanese Vanguard, then it already has a price. But in English, we don't know yet. Depends how they distribute it. Hopefully it's a box topper or something, because that'll probably be the cheapest. That'll probably be the cheapest once it comes out. Ooh, Alden actually is playing the new girl. The girl that I say is very disappointing in terms of her effect. So, calls out 2 cards from the Divine Skill of Alden here. Calls out the front and the Grade 2. So first things first, you're going to have the effect of Alden bring back the 2 cards here. And then you can basically, you'd have to attack with the front if you want to put it back to, hand here, but we'll see. Alright, so swinging with the new girl, she's coming in for 30k. And because Handler is at 5, you know, there's going to be a 5 attack turn with everything actually hitting for lethal, but double Tisk are going to be used, and both of them use CB for the draw effect. So saving the energy for something here. Probably Handler's game plan is to try to go for a turn 4 Jet, I'm assuming. Alright, then here we're going to see, ooh, Alden's top 7 is trying to find a target. It is going to be, that's the Nun. I forget the Nun's effect, but that's like a common Nun that was, she was the common in like one of the recent sets. So going over the effect, even I don't remember the effect of this girl either myself. But it's pretty cool to see Alden, what is his build? I mean, it's pretty cool. Dragon comes through. And there's a nun again. Hold up. She gets 10k. Oh, they CB because they have 1 energy. Oh, you're right. I thought they were on... I thought it was on the other side of the energy counter for some reason. But yeah, they are at 1. Alright. We see the PG drop here for Jet. I like how both of them are running the OG PGs. Not the reprinted ones. Okay. Does have... Ooh, take backs. Okay, we're taking back the PG here. Thinking of using the twin cast together with some hand shield value. Okay. I think they're checking which attack is that's happening. So we see, okay. They guarded the last one as well. So that one was like what? 33, 39? Yeah, they're gonna PG the last one. Okay. So Handler actually survived with the Jet. Pretty good. Getting up to 4 energy here, and now the hand definitely got chucked, you know, chucked quite a bit. Ooh, has to ditch 2 cards for Stride, and you can only go into Fate Rider. No next stage here. Just because, of course, you have to discard the Jet for the cost. Gonna CB1 here to bot deck the grade 2. She does have extra shield. So you want to get rid of that. And you're gonna use 3 energy. Ooh, I like that. Uses the energy from the field to call double upstream here. So this is quite good because you can basically upstream behind the other one and then attack with that one to put something back. And still, I guess you kind of would want something else on the field here, but we'll see what they manage to generate. Can only attack once you use her divine skill, and she's 15k base. Ooh, is she 15k base? Like base power completely? That is pretty good then. That's actually a pretty interesting card because you do like insta fire your divine skill very early. So I guess here we're gonna see a GG come down. I'm gonna use that and then just immediately put her back with a Fate Rider, and then like pull something off of the, like convert the GG into another upstream, and then that upstream will call another grade 1 behind the other upstream, I guess. It's an upstream festival out here, but yeah, I'm just gonna go back. Yo, Doctor, thank you for the 28 months. Appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming through for another one. Jet Buff coming with the 50 months too. Let's go, Slayer. Appreciate it. But yeah, but Jet Buff indeed. Jet Buff, Bet Juff. The good old everyone's favorite. Everyone's favorite. So here we see upstream is being used here. Flips another next stage. I think definitely Handler wanted to go for next stage of this game, but I mean this turn. But Alden in Hochweiss's hand might be able to survive. Heal comes down. That is also very important because, you know, Handler is out of resources now too. So heal's gonna come down, committing it to one of the upstreams. One of them is higher because of the Fate Rider's power. So debating on where to go in. Do a CAPG on the Vanguard swing, so... Ooh, the crit comes out. That is now threatening lethal. If we can find a second, that would have been optimal, but at the end of the day, gonna swing with the bigger one here. This is 45k. Oh, and because of the because Jet has a crest, gets the PG for free as well. And then we see the crit in damage go in for 5th damage, but Alden still kicking, surviving yet another Jet turn here, and gonna search out the final clockwise here as well. So not bad, not bad. Very tanky game, but I think there's, you know, there's time to be considered, and also for Alden, there's deck size to be considered as well. All right, let's see. Bald needs to win this turn, or probably, yeah, like Alden needs to win not just because of what, you know, Jet can do in general, but also just because of the fact that they are going to struggle with their own deck size as the game goes on. That's always the toughest thing with Alden. So let's see here. Quick little cut coming in for the Jet. Hand is pretty low for Jet too, so I think I don't see a way for Alden to not potentially just win this turn. They don't have Persona Ride, which is the part that isn't great. Gonna use the twin cast here, interestingly enough. So I think they're just going over the effect here, but that is a 15k shield. The only thing is that maybe, I guess you probably Handler's logic here is to guard the low attacks as much as possible, and then have less to worry about, because it's gonna be a 5 attack turn because of the Rasional restanding your other rear guard. So CB1, draw 1. What's it gonna be the call? Airmac, that's gonna be a huge one, so probably expected that to come down eventually, but we didn't even see it in damage, I think, so the chances of it coming down weren't exactly that high. Like, maybe there was a world where they weren't playing it. Who's Handler asking for triggers, or are they saying no guard? That's the scary thing. Ran out of Forcolor, which is why they called Philly instead, which is not good for Jet. Yeah. Running out of Forcolor is not great either, but they did see it early game, so it is bound to run out eventually. Ooh, Handler only has like 4 cards in hand. It's actually pretty tough. Does have a PG, but gonna take this one. Airmac, Alden, no triggers. And Handler hits a defensive, so that's actually, that might be the decisive factor, because Handler now can just hard guard this one, and then PG the last swing, and then as long as they have Stride Fodder, they should be good. The question is, do they have Stride Fodder? They have, oh, they kept an upstream, so they need to draw into a grade 1 or greater to Stride. If they do, they probably win. If they don't, they found Ford Reveltis. They're gonna ditch both, go into Fate Rider again. There was also a world where you could have just made a board and just tried to win off of like Jet's guard restrict, but Hawkweiss's hand is actually pretty tanky, so let's see here. Use the, okay, I like it. They essentially are using the effect of the clockwise. They've used all 4 now to get back the upstream. They ditch for stride cost, and that's gonna allow them to basically reuse that piece. So clockwise really just showing its worth in this game. That's crazy. It really goes to show like why Jet can live in this meta too. Obviously, it'd be great if they could stride the next stage, because that's obviously the biggest threat. You know, you get the 2 Vanguard swings that do so much for you, but this is basically going to be just a upstream looping itself kind of game, as it's been so far. But you do get some insane scaling from everything that's happening. So at least, you know, there's a 3rd Fade Rider, 5 face-up G-Zone, plus 25k to front row. We're looking pretty good here. Okay. But now, does Hawkweis have a PG to guard for this final swing? Because it is going to be, I don't want this to end in double loss in time. That'd be pretty tough. Another twin cast. Okay, I didn't even notice that Alden was using twin cast, but there it is. So that's going to be a 43 against the Vanguard, which is coming in with, so it was already 28, 38, 48, 53 by default. So this is currently, so we see what, 28, 43, 58, 68. So let's see. It's gonna come down for Handler. It's a 2 to pass. It should be a 2 to pass. Handler's checking the triggers. This could be the decisive blow, especially for round 1. You definitely want to have that good strong finish, but oh, triple blanks. That's not how you want that turn to pan out. Okay, so the triple drive didn't pass. Upstream is gonna swing here, and looks like Hawkweis had, ooh, couldn't afford to guard it, and that actually went in and got the 6 damage and had the OT in hand, but was not enough to guard with. So pretty good stuff. Jet actually is buff. The bet Juff is real. The bet Juff is quite real, and it is finding those dubs in round 1 of Singapore. Pretty cool. Pretty cool first game to check out.